a burned body, coded clues, and a name that remains unknown to this day. This is the enduring mystery of the Isdal woman, a story that began over half a century ago in the remote wilderness of Norway. The year was 1970, a time of quiet tension during the Cold War. On a cold Sunday, November 29th, a university professor and his 2 young daughters decided to go for a hike, seeking fresh air and a brief escape from the nearby city of Bergen. Their path took them into the foothills of Mount Ulriken, into a secluded area known to locals as Isdal the Ice Valley. It's a place with a dark history, a site of medieval suicides and more recent hiking accidents. Some even call it Death Valley. As they walked, one of the young girls noticed a strange smell on the wind. It was the acrid, unmistakable smell of something burning. Curious and a little uneasy, the father led his daughters off the main trail, following the scent up a steep, rocky slope. There, nestled between the large stones, they saw a shocking sight. The father quickly shielded his daughter's eyes, but the image was seared into his memory. It was the body of a woman, lying on her back, her torso and face so badly burned they were unrecognizable. The front of her body and her clothes were charred black, yet strangely, the ground beneath her was barely scorched. Terrified, the family scrambled back down the hillside and ran to alert the authorities. Soon, police officers from Bergen arrived at the lonely valley, establishing a cordon around the isolated scene. What they found was deeply perplexing. The woman's arms were raised in a rigid, pugilistic stance, a boxer's pose often seen in fire victims as muscles contract from the heat. Investigators began the meticulous process of cataloging the evidence. Arranged carefully around her were a collection of objects: an empty bottle of street, Halvard liqueur, 2 plastic water bottles smelling of petrol, a dozen pink sleeping pills, a packed lunch, a silver spoon, and a broken umbrella. Her watch was there, but so was every other form of identification. Her passport, her wallet, and any labels on her clothing had been systematically removed. The police had a body, a bizarre crime scene, and a collection of clues, but they had no idea who she was or how she died. The mystery had just begun. The police began their work, facing a puzzle that was as baffling as it was grim. From the outset, the investigation was fraught with difficulty. The remote location, the bizarre state of the body, and the complete absence of any personal identification made it a formidable task. Their first priority was to give the woman her name back, but every attempt to identify her led to a dead end. It was as if she had been systematically erased. The labels on her clothes had been meticulously cut away. This wasn't a casual act. It was a known technique used by intelligence agents and fugitives to prevent clothing from being traced to a specific country or manufacturer. Even more disturbing, her fingerprints had been sanded off. A brutal, painful process that spoke to a desperate or professional effort to remain anonymous. Someone wanted her to be a ghost. The fire had destroyed much, but it also offered clues. It had burned intensely hot, but in a surprisingly contained area, suggesting its purpose was not to start a forest fire, but to incinerate the body. The evidence pointed to the use of an accelerant, likely gasoline, to ensure the complete destruction of any identifying features. An autopsy was performed, a crucial step to uncover the secrets the fire had failed to consume. The pathologist found a lethal dose of sleeping pills in her stomach, more than 50 tablets of phenymol, a powerful barbiturate. Crucially, there was also soot in her lungs. This was definitive proof. She was still breathing, still alive, when the fire was set. The official cause of death was a combination of barbiturate poisoning and carbon monoxide inhalation. Was it a carefully planned suicide? Or a cold-blooded murder staged to look like one? A third more chilling possibility emerged: an assisted suicide, where someone helped her end her life and then erased her identity. The autopsy provided a basic physical profile. She was estimated to be between 30 and 40 years old and stood about 5 feet 4 inches tall. She had brown hair, brown eyes, and a small, distinctive gap between her front teeth, but the most promising lead lay in her mouth. She had extensive and unique dental work, including several gold crowns. This specific style of dentistry was highly uncommon in Norway at the time. This suggested she was a foreigner. Dentists, consulted by the police, believed the work was more typical of Southern or Eastern Europe, or perhaps even the Middle East. Armed with this composite sketch and the unique dental profile, police sent her description to law enforcement agencies across Europe and beyond. They hoped that somewhere, someone would recognize the woman who had been so thoroughly erased. Then, a new turn. 2 suitcases left in a locker at Bergen Station. A witness linked them to the mystery woman. Police hoped to find her identity inside. No ID, no letters, no personal photos. She had money from many countries and traveled often. The key clue, a small notebook hidden in the lining. It was filled with strange writing lines of letters and numbers. A code. Experts studied it for days. Then, a small success. It was a simple substitution. The notes recorded dates and places. Her travel log showed trips all over Europe, Paris, Hamburg, and more. Places matched with dates, step by step. A breakthrough, but the mystery grew more complex. They were not closer to her name. With a decoded travel log, police sent her sketch to hotels across Norway. Calls came in. Many recognized the woman, but each knew her by a different name. She stayed in Bergen, Oslo, Trondheim, and Stavanger. Finella Lork, Claudia Tielt, Vera Jarl, Alexia Zarna Merches, Genevieve Lancier, at least 9 identities. She paid in cash and often changed rooms, elegant and well-dressed. She spoke German, French, and English with an accent. Very private. She would sit and watch people as if waiting for someone. She told a chambermaid to go away. She seemed cautious and on guard. All the names were fake. The passports were fake. She could switch identities with ease. Not an amateur. Who needs so many names? Inside the suitcases, investigators found a carefully curated collection of clothing, dresses, coats, and blouses, all fashionable, yet strangely anonymous. Every single label had been meticulously cut away, a deliberate act of erasure. There were also several wigs, suggesting a woman who could change her appearance at a moment's notice. But among these items, one object stood out as the most promising and perplexing clue, a small notepad. On the first page, a cryptic sequence was written, OTLSMIASO. Was it an acronym? A mnemonic device? Some have speculated it could be a garbled attempt at a phrase like, "On the last Sunday, my initials are Sofia Orlova," but without a key, it was just another dead end. The meticulous effort to remain anonymous continued. A prescription lotion bottle had its label scraped off, but forensic analysis traced it to a common eczema cream. A plastic bag from a Stavanger shoe store provided the first real lead, pointing investigators to a specific witness. The shop clerk remembered selling her the very same rubber boots later found near her body. He recalled a polite, stylish woman who spoke broken English with an accent. He also noted a distinct, sweet smell about her, almost like garlic, a detail that would later fuel even more speculation. All this secrecy and misdirection inevitably bred a powerful theory. She was a spy. After all, this was the height of the Cold War. Norway, a founding member of NATO, shared a border with the Soviet Union, making it a hotbed of covert activity. Espionage wasn't just fiction, it was a daily reality. Coded messages, multiple disguises, fake identities, and constant travel across Europe. Her actions read like a checklist of classic intelligence tradecraft. Was she a secret agent on a mission that went terribly wrong? At the time, Norway was testing its new Penguin anti-ship missile, a significant military development. It's plausible she was sent to gather intelligence on this very project. Police did consult with Norway's intelligence services, but the details of those conversations were never made public. The spy theory, while compelling, remained just that, a theory, shrouded in the official silence of the Cold War. The case went cold. She was buried in Bergen in 1971. Still, journalists and amateurs kept the story alive. In 2016, the case was reopened. NRK worked with police to apply new science. Her jawbone and tissue samples were tested for DNA. A genetic profile could help find family. Scientists also used stable isotope analysis to trace where she lived. Food and water leave chemical traces. Those traces map to places Results suggested she was born near Nuremberg around 1930 and moved to France or the border region as a child. Police and NRK sent this to German authorities and searched old files. New DNA gave more to compare with possible relatives. The old mystery was now seen through a scientific lens. Despite advances, her name is still unknown. Searches in Europe and DNA databases have found no clear match. We have a possible birthplace and her travels, but not her name or why she died. The central questions remain. The case shows the limits of investigation then and now. Some secrets are buried very deep. A life of secrecy can erase a person even after death. A name is basic to who we are. She was denied this. She is known only by the place she was found, a symbol of the unknown. Her story makes us think about our own traces and what it means to be alone. The search continues by journalists, investigators, and ordinary people. Maybe one small piece will solve it. Until then, she remains a ghost of the Cold War, her secrets burned in an ice valley. Come back for more haunts, chills, murder, and mystery. Share this video with family and friends. Please like and subscribe.